Do you know the phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Meaning that it's important to take care of yourself and be healthy. You know, you got to exercise and whatnot to keep your body strong. But what do we learn about mental health? Hey everyone, welcome back to another fantastic episode. My name's MJ.
My name is Adam.
And we want to help your English improve by listening to me and Adam's conversation and join us and be a third friend in our little chat we're having right now. So everyone, today we're going to be talking about mental health. This is a thing that has becoming increasingly not popular, but more people are being aware or cautious and thinking and talking about mental health in North America.
And the importance of it as well.
It's an interesting thing that I'd like to bring up with everyone here in Japan because it is one point I feel that is lacking in the progression of Japan. You know, there's a few things that not only I see, but even people of Japan notice that like, hey, why are we still using fax machines? You know, there's a lot of paper money still being used compared to other countries going all digital and stuff. And not even to touch upon like the sexism that is still kind of prevalent, is still, you know, kind of normalized in Japan where, you know, the housewife is the shufu, she stays home, and it's really difficult for the women to get a job, you know, when they come back from maternity leave. There's a lot of issues that kind of hold Japan back from progressing further. And mental health, I believe, is another one.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about it because it is so, you know, well discussed and talked about in North America, changing the way we think about people and the way we think about gender, and now the way we think about our minds and how important it is to talk about our feelings and stuff.
And there's so much stuff that has been just evolving from like the past, you know? So here's this thing, mental health, everyone. The definition would be how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, and how you see others, how you react to things, maybe emotionally, and how it can affect other people. If it is a good, positive effect or a negative effect, right? If you're hanging out with people that are all like loving and excited, doing stuff, then maybe, you know, it can impact you and you'd be more positive than your mindset compared to someone who is hanging out with a lot of bad people, and that can then have your mind set in that kind of negative place where it makes it difficult to get out.
And I think it goes even more broad, like just in your environment on like a daily basis, how you take things in and then how you process them and how you release what you understand into the world with your emotions or actions.
Yes.
And maybe for Japan, a lot of people spend most of the time working. So it would be like how they take in all that work environment and then how they release that work environment back into the world.
Right.
You know, like the stress factor or the fun factor or the feeling of like, are you fulfilled at your job? Fulfilled meaning, do you feel like what you're doing is valuable for you as a person in your growth?
Yeah. Does it give you purpose?
Purpose, yes, that's the word I was looking for. Purpose.
Yeah.
Do you feel purpose from your job? Like all of that stuff. Every time you wake up in the morning and go through your day, everything that happens throughout the day, and you take it in, your brain is holding it inside. So even if it's a happy thought or a bad thought, like you might not feel it, but later on in the future, somehow it comes out. And it could be a bad reaction or a good reaction or like a strange reaction you don't understand. Yeah, it goes really deep, right?
Deep into your almost subconscious. Now, subconscious, everyone, is like the things that you don't even really think about, you know? If it's an example, Adam, do you want a hot dog or a hamburger? You would think, okay, maybe you want to but maybe a hot dog for today, you know? So you're making that choice. Your conscious is thinking about it, but subconscious is something that you will not even think about, all right?
Right.
You know, for me, being American, I will say, growing up there all my life, or as a child, I see within the real people there, I see within movies or TV shows, how a lot of people will talk about how much they don't like their jobs, how they dread Monday. Oh, Monday, I got to go back to work. Or, hey, it's the weekend. Yes, finally, it's Friday.
Friday,
TGIF, you know?
Right.
and you're excited to get out of work, but you have to do this work. You have to grind to make money, to survive. And a big kind of tick in the human world, in our civilization, affected the whole world was 2020 when coronavirus, COVID-19, came on to spotlight and put the whole world on pause. And at that time, all of us that were on our jobs, just on this like train track of like, okay, we just got to go choo choo. We're just, okay, whatever. If I like it, cool. If I don't like it, whatever, I have to do it. That was a point where I feel, especially in Western countries, a lot of people were like, wait a second, I have time now to look into myself and think about what my life is. Where have I been going? Is this where I want to go?
A big part of that is like, it wasn't by choice where you were forced to look at yourself and think about where you wanted to go and where you are now. It was like, I have so much time right now. I don't know what to do. And then you realize, wow, I have so much time. And I like this time. I don't like go, that ball gets bigger and bigger.
And that's when like a lot of people in the US, a lot of workers started to go on strike. And they said like, I'm not working for this much money anymore, or like, I'm not working at all. A lot of people were quitting. And we saw this big shift of people like focusing on their mental health, thinking about do what they have mentally planned or what they want to do in their life to give them purpose compared to what they're actually doing in their real life to survive. That's one big switch that happened in North America that had more people talking about mental health as we see now. You know, a lot of people going to yoga, doing like more exercise, you know, fitness is a big thing, but as well as mental health, like meditation, taking care of yourself, like taking breaks from work or figuring out a way to get out of this job that you hate to do something that you love and you're passionate about.
I even hear more about like even talking to therapists, like people who are
more therapy work.
Therapy work, people listening to what you feel and asking you questions about yourself. My impression of therapy was like, oh man, that person is really messed up. You gotta go to therapy, right?
Like you have a big problem.
You have a big problem. But now it's being talked about so much that it feels like you are almost encouraged to go to therapy as a human being.
It's like going to the dentist or going to see the doctor. To be like, oh, you know, my stomach hurts a little bit.
Right.
I feel like, the viewpoint of in North America is one that's like, like everyone, more people are having therapy work and seeing a therapist to help them figure out this negative thing maybe that they're doing or they've done in the past that they want to get out of to be a better person, to hopefully get a better level of success in their life, right? So that means like they find a problem, they don't like it, they want to do something about it.
Exactly.
And now this is the big thing, I feel like, where Japan is maybe not so focused. There are plenty of people who talk about mental health in Japan, I'm sure, but on the mainstream, not so many people talking, because I think majority in Japan, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, everybody, the gammon lifestyle in Japan is so strong that even if you have questions, even if you don't like this job, but you just gammon suru. Because it's what everyone else is doing.
I was even thinking about like uchi wa uchi, soto wa soto. Like I don't want anyone knowing about my problems because that's my problem. But it goes to the gammon. It's like interweaved with gammon suru as well. Like it's my problem.
Yes. I think like, you know, our generation, we think like that too. You know, if I say like I'm going to a therapist, your friend will be like, oh, are you okay? Like
right.
And we're kind of shy to talk about that stuff openly, where the newer generation, they feel like it's totally okay. It's good to talk about that kind of stuff.
Necessary.
So it's necessary. So it's a really interesting mindset. It's a really interesting world that we have right now coming out of COVID. And it's interesting to see how much of this connection can happen between Japan and the US. And hopefully if you're listening to this, your English is all really good and you're probably able to, do a little YouTube search or Google search about mental health and find some interesting people on YouTube and articles about to kind of open up your mind a little bit and to, just think about, should we be doing this? In Japanese history, there's Zen, there's Ikigai, there's so many different things. Kaizen, there's so many like words that have been affecting people for a long time in Japan to kind of get better. And I feel like those words are a little lost in all of the SNS and the TikToks and the Giri Chocos. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this one. We could probably go on for a little bit longer. And hey, maybe we even do talk more about it over on our podcast. That's right. We have a podcast that you can subscribe to. Next Step Podcast, me and Adam talk about different things for about 30 minutes podcast every week. Subscribe to it. Check it out. It's really fun. So, hey, that's it. Leave a comment. What do you think about mental health? Like and subscribe to the channel.
We'll see you
on the next